Hello world, it's just after 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday the 25th of June 2025. It's new moon. Within the last 2 minutes, the sun and the moon in the sky have come together in the same degree of longitude. But before I go into that, I just want to say a big hello and thank you to a few people, and you know who you are, who came to see me at the weekend when I was at the pagan festival in Evesham in the west of England. And what I didn't know until I met you is that there's actually quite a few people out there who really enjoy me saying, hello world. And I met a gang of women who apparently have made some type of collective saying with it. So what I might do is actually get a large number of people just sending me clips of them going, hello world, and broadcast it in the future because it's fun. And we need some joy in the world. Now, the sun and the moon are conjunct Jupiter as we speak, all by 1 degree. It's all very tight. Jupiter is the Roman name for Zeus, but another name in the Roman for Jupiter is Jove, from where we get joviality. And it's the derivative of the word joy. So Jupiter, yeah, it's big, very big. It's bigger than all the other planets put together. And you can't land on Jupiter. It's got no substance. It's hot air. It's gas. It's a gas giant. It gives out 2.5 times as much heat and light as it takes in from the sun. So it's always over the top and larger than life and over expansive and biting off more than you can chew, and promises more than it delivers. But it also brings joy, humour, growth and expansion. It brings wisdom and philosophy as one ages. It's all to do with travel and expanding the higher mind, and it's to do with humour. So the sun and the moon and Jupiter are all together as I speak at 3 and 4 degrees of Cancer. Now there's a negative and a positive look at this. The challenging side of this is that the sun and the moon and Jupiter are all still squaring Saturn and Neptune at the start of Aries. But all of these squares are past the strongest point. As a number of you will know, in the last few weeks, I've been saying, okay, this is the second absolutely batshit crazy time of 2025. We have had Jupiter moving into Cancer, square Saturn and Neptune. We've had Mercury moving into Cancer, conjunct Jupiter, squaring Saturn and Neptune. And then in the last 3 or 4 days, we've had the Sun moving into Cancer, squaring Saturn and Neptune and conjuncting Jupiter yesterday. And if you track back on the videos I've done in the last couple of weeks, you will hear me say a number of times, all of this craziness that we're going through in the middle of June will be over by the 24th. We're now on the 25th. I'm not saying it's all over. I'm saying that the worst of it is, and we're now heading into a much quieter time. The structures and the boundaries of the world have changed. There's still an element of fake news. We still don't know the outcomes of what's happened. Some of the top dogs have got bigger because they've taken down other top dogs. But then, the higher you climb, the more room there is to fall. And eventually there'll only be one top dog and then everyone will snipe at them. I prefer to stay beneath the surface in certain ways. But what's really nice is that the sun and moon and Jupiter are all strongly sextiling Mars as we speak. Mars is at 3 to 4 degrees of Virgo. So the moon sextile Mars, it's a lovely aspect. It brings a kind of emotive strength. It brings a depth of feeling that's not just around emotion and sensitivity, it's around effectiveness and efficiency. With the moon in Cancer and Mars in Virgo, this is a time of getting things done in a way that exercises time and energy management. Jupiter sextile Mars is a great aspect. It breeds enthusiasm and optimism. Glass 51% full before you start. And the Sun sextile Mars, well, it doesn't in itself give good health, but it does give excellent recuperation and healing ability. All of these sextiles to Mars from the Sun, Moon and Jupiter at the moment are really positive. And the Sun, Moon and Jupiter are past the worst of the squares to Saturn and Neptune. So it does seem that this is a very fortunate new moon. So if you are fortunate enough to have in your horoscope planets around 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees of the earth signs or the water signs, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, particularly Cancer or Virgo, then this is an excellent time for a fresh start and a new beginning. Do not expect results straight away. But this really is a very good time to be throwing fishing lines into the future and planting seeds for the long term. And there'll be many things that will develop over the next year or two, and you will look back and go, oh yeah, the initial idea for this, the initial start of this was late June 2025. How often do you hear me talk about planetary phenomena in a positive, upbeat, joyful way? This is a great new moon. I appreciate that for a lot of people in the world, in the war zones, recovering from much of the trauma of recent times, whether it be bombings, shootings, assassinations, plane crashes, there's a lot of people suffering. There always are. And I'm not dismissing or demeaning them in any way. But there's also room for positivity as opposed to the cynicism that's so endemic in the world at the moment. And also, what have you got to lose by trying? This is one of those times where there's a lot more potentially positive energy out there than is normally the case. If you don't use it, nothing will happen. You'll stay exactly the same. If you do use it, you should thrive and prosper. So what have you got to lose by trying? It is not the result that guarantees the future. It is the attempt. Never stop trying and give it your best shot. Today's a great day. Happy new moon. Get out there, make things happen. You know my catchphrase. Negativity can't exist where there's humour. Catch you later, world. Bye.